This is how I think about grading a commercial site. The very first thing that I think about is the existing grade at the tie-in points. The tie-in points are very critical. So your tie-in points can be your driveway entrances. They can be the very sides of your property because you have to tie back into existing grade. Or maybe there's some sort of structure or some sort of object in the field that you have to avoid. So always understand the grade at your critical tie-in points. The second thing that I look for is as I'm setting grades, I'm trying to identify if I'm heavily cutting or filling. As the engineer of the project, you're trying to help your client save money, and that means balancing earthwork. So as I'm setting grades, I'm trying to think if I'm 5 feet up in the air, 8 feet up in the air, or vice versa, 4 to 5 feet below the earth. So as you're kind of going through, you can look at the existing grades, and once you start grading it out, you can get an idea about how high you are or low you are relative to the existing grade. Also with commercial sites, you'll always have some pavement areas, so keep in mind the pavement depth. Technically, that's not fill area, that's materials. So that's either concrete, base material, asphalt. That won't count towards your earthwork calculations. Number 3 is when I'm doing commercial sites like this, anywhere between 1 to 2 acres, I always view the site as a quadrant. And what I mean by that is I typically place a high point to form a quadrant. That way I can section off the site and place low points away from the building, which actually leads me into my 4th point, and it goes without saying, but we want to drain away from the building. So setting your FFV is actually very critical with how you're going to design your site and have critical connections from the utilities in the building down to where you're supposed to tie in with your gravity sewer or any sort of roof drains that you have into an existing storm system. Number 5, last but not least, I'm always thinking about the minimum and maximum slopes that I can use. So with any site or with any jurisdiction, there's always certain codes that you have to follow. So with any sort of ADA parking area, we try to stay lower than 2% cross slope. Also with sidewalks, 1.5%, 2% is good. Driveways, try to keep a maximum of 8%, but this also varies on fire code. Sometimes you can't help it and you'll have to have 10 to 12%. 10 to 12% is starting to get very steep. So I like to try to max out at 8%. And then you got your max cross slopes of parking areas. This is always up to you, but I usually cap it at around 3 to 4% max cross slope. 2% is the sweet spot. And if you're ever curious, I'd highly suggest you go out to a site, get a level, measure some slopes. You'll actually learn a lot and you'll realize what is and isn't steep. And as for bonus material, avoid structures in the wheel stop. Notice how in this plan, we have no inlets anywhere where a car can drive over. I mean, think about all the times that you're driving around and you're hitting these great inlets. We try to avoid any sort of inlet at the entrance. Sometimes you have to do it. Maybe there's a site constraint. However, you can control the way that you grade and ultimately make a better design. Hope this helps.